Hello everyone, and welcome to day 19 of my 100-day project. We are in the second to last day of watercolor. And today what I thought I would do is go back to that idea that I had a few days ago about this kind of tribal figure and sort of this iconic representation of the feminine mother sort of thing. I did a version of this the other day and it just sort of came out much different than I expected. So I wanted to see if I could replicate what was in my head initially. And that was pretty much the only idea I came to the table with, other than I thought, well, I wonder if I use the wax resist again in yet a different color. So this is Sahara Yellow, I think, in the Caran d'Ache Neocolor I's. And I thought I would see what kind of texture I could create with that crayon. And didn't quite work out the way I thought, as is often the case. So what you're seeing me do here, instead of using a watercolor palette, I'm using my watercolor sticks. And I have two different brands that I'm working with today. One is the Daniel Smith, which I love. These are pure pigment and gum arabic. There's no other binder in there. So it is pure pigment. And they're beautiful and they're luscious, and you'll see me draw directly on the paper with them and also pull pigment off with my brush as I'm doing here. And then I'm using a couple of colors from American Journey. They have a wonderful line of watercolor sticks as well, and some really unique watercolor colors. They were formerly Cheap Joe's, and they've continued the brand of American Journey with a new owner. But I really do enjoy their watercolor sticks as well. The main difference between theirs and Daniel Smith is the American Journey does have a little bit of wax in them. It's water soluble, but it is a little bit of wax. So it just has a bit of a different feel. They're also, they come with a point already sharpened, which is kind of nice for drawing. So I'm kind of playing around with them as well. And I've done some mark making in the background here and trying to beef up the contrast between the figure and the background. I'm pulling out some titanium white to knock back the background a little bit, and I really love doing this. Titanium white is wonderful for softening those colors, and you'll see it just pushes everything back, and I really love it. And I love to draw into the wet paint. You saw me do that with that mint julep color, that minty green color in the figure a moment ago. So I'm just using that watercolor stick to knock things back a little bit here. And I know composition-wise, my figure is directly in the middle, and you know, I'm not worried about any of that right now. I'm really just kind of playing and having fun, trying to beef up that resist a little bit with that wax crayon again, pulling it in. Didn't really do much. Like, it didn't resist as much as I had hoped it would. I feel like I got better results with the white and with the gray that I used. It's not bad. You can still see in her tummy area, there's a good amount of wax there that is still resisting, so that's good. But I'm just trying to bring out more of the contrast here. I really love that. I think it's called Hot Mama, that red color from American Journey around her outline that I just really love. So I'm going back into that phthalo blue. That's the color I'm using right now. And again, it's so dark that I want it to bring in some additional contrast. So that's what I'm doing there. Again, with circles. Circles, one of those shapes I really love. I'm pulling out my glass dip pen as well to scratch into the paper to see what I can get. And I went looking for I have a set of metallic watercolors that I couldn't find. So I'm cheating a little bit and pulling out some gold acrylic ink that was sitting on my table and adding that. I just felt like she needed some gold. She needed some reference to spirit going on in there, and that's the way I like to show that. So added a little bit of flex in the background. And there she is. I'm really kind of digging this kind of tribal series. These iconic old studies of the feminine and the mother figure. I'm really loving that. I might do a series on that. I'm feeling compelled. So there we go. There is day 19. We have one more day left of watercolor, and then it's off to oil paint, which will be a whole other journey. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're doing well. Take care. Bye.